We have a massive report on the potential trade sending Noah Hanifin to the Boston Bruins. Also, Kevin Shattenkirk speaks out on his recent play, and much more coming up on this episode of Hattrick HQ. But before we get into that, just want to say that 84.2% of you guys watching this aren't subscribed. So if you're looking for a home to daily NHL content, look no further, go down below, hit that subscribe button, become part of the community here because we'll be here all season long, keep me up to date on everything that's going on around the league. But with that said, let's get right into the first topic of the video today, and that is Kevin Shattenkirk speaks out on his slow start. And as you see here, he says, knowing what I need to work on in order to stay in the lineup has been being more physical, being quicker in the defensive zone, closing on guys and hemming plays. He also says, and being more aggressive offensively, jumping up in the rush more as a defenseman. You kind of like to hear it. You think that maybe you want to be held back. But we also see here from the head coach, he says he's been a real pro. He's been a great in that sense that he's looking for. What do I need to do to be in the lineup every night? He said, the head coach said, also says here, I thought he made some good steps in last night's game. I thought he was more assertive. I thought his individual game showed signs of moving in the right direction. And as we take a look at Kevin Shattenkirk here, obviously a notable name throughout the entire NHL, has played ever since back in 2010. He is 34 years of age right now, kind of coming on the end of his career. But, I mean, he's still putting up decent numbers here. Through 17 games, he has 4 points, but he's more of a defensive defender. You don't really see him get that many points very often. I think his career high here was above 55. I think it was 56 career points. But he's a guy who's going to go out there, he's going to block a few shots, lay a few hits on every given night. As we see here, just last season, he had 115 blocks, 79 hits. So this is a guy you need to have on your team, a great defensive defender. And it's great to hear here that he knows he's not playing up to par, not playing up to what he's normally been playing here in his career. And he's trying to work every day to get better and try to, up his game even more, even though he's an aging player. I think that's great to hear. And like the head coach here says, he's a pro. He knows he got to be better, and he's asking what he needs to do to be better. And that's what we've seen here. He's saying he's talking about jumping up in the offensive zone a little bit more, just being, getting the puck out quicker in his own zone and stuff like that, being more aggressive. I really do think that he knows what to do to change his game here, and I really do think if he works at it, he will get back to the Kevin Shattenkirk we all know and love. He's playing about 18 minutes a night here in Boston, so he's getting a fair decent amount of ice time here on the third pairing, so it'd be great to see him come back the way he's been playing. I mean, I think he's been pretty solid out there in my opinion. He's getting a few block shots, doing the stuff that you need him to do. He's more of a stay-at-home defenseman, so if we get to see him jump up in the rush a little bit more, kind of take on more of a two-way role, I think that would be great to see here with Kevin Shattenkirk. Obviously, Boston's on a roll right now, and it's going to be great to see what they can do for the rest of the season. But we're going to get into why all you guys probably clicked on this video, and that is Noah Hanifin going home. And yes, there has been reports of Noah Hanifin potentially going back to Boston. Obviously, he is a Boston native. I know that they're probably going to be gunning for him to bring him back to Boston, as we see here. Pierre LeBrun reports Hanifin and the Flames are close on an 8-year extension, roughly $60 million deal over 8 years, which would carry about $7.5 million AAV. And he also says here, noting Hanifin decided he wanted to see the Flames' direction as the team struggled early on, and as a result, Calgary pulled the offer. And we also see here, I still accept, for example, Hanifin could get dealt at some point, Pierre LeBrun said. He said in his case, the idea for everyone involved is that he gets dealt as a signed player, that there's an extra extension in place for him wherever he ends up. And as we take a look here, it says about Boston, it says, if I was a betting man, I'd be betting on the Bruins to eventually get Hanifin. I'd be shocked if Boston isn't at the front of the line there. That's the source said. And we also see here, could it be that once Sweeney was informed that the Flames and Hanifin were done talking, Sweeney switched his trade focus back to Hanifin, and that's why he wouldn't even surrender the return the Flames got first the door off. That could not be confirmed on Thursday night, but it's pretty clear that Sweeney and Conroy have been and will likely continue to be engaged in trade talks. It also appears that he has not given up on acquiring his white whale in Hanifin. Now, I really do think that this trade would be amazing for Boston if they could pull this off. I mean, Boston has pulled off some crazy trades here in the past to bring in some guys, and I know Boston wants this guy. He's the hometown kid. You want to bring him back, give him his money, extend him further. And that's why I really do think that a sign and trade will be involved here. Depending on how much Boston wants to give him, I know that they were talking maybe 7.5 early on this season. I think that number may go down a little bit now, just the way he's been playing recently. Maybe we might see him at 7 million AAV, depending on how much that Boston wants him, how long they want to extend him for. I really do think that this is something we could really see happen. Hanifin, obviously, Calgary is struggling right now. I'm sure that, a trade he does have a no trade clause, but I really do think that he would waive that for a shot to play in his hometown team in Boston. I really do think that this trade could potentially happen. And as you take a look here at Hanifin's stats, obviously, this season he has 11 points in 23 games, 32 blocks and 12 hits. And last year he had 38 points, 129 blocks, 76 hits. This guy is, if you don't know his game, he is more of a two-way player here. He's a great here in Calgary. He's great on the defensive side, great in the defensive zone. He also is great quarterbacking a power play as well. This could really benefit in Boston as well. Could kind of revamp that second power play unit. I know McAvoy kind of has the first one covered, so I think you maybe put him in on that second power play unit. We'll amp it up a little bit. They got some guys here like Charlie Coyle, who's been playing really good as of late, and I really do think Hanifin quarterbacking this second line power play unit will really boost their power play percentage a lot. But like I said here, has a great two-way game. He is struggling a little bit offensively here to start the season, but he is playing great defensively. He's a guy who's going to get you over probably 120 blocks in a season. He don't mind putting his body on the line to block a shot for his goaltender. I really do think if you bring this guy in, I really do think that this team's going to be even more successful than they are. I know that Boston has played very well here in the regular season, this season and last season, but couldn't get over that hump in the playoffs, and really think adding a guy like this would help push you further to get over that hump in the playoffs. And Boston is a team that I didn't really expect to play that good when Bergeron Krejci retired, but they've been playing phenomenal. They have some rookies there who have stepped up big time, and I think bringing a guy like Hanifin in will be great. The proposed trade that I'm seeing here now is to Boston, Noah Hanifin, Boston sends to Calgary a guy like Trent Frederick or Brandon Carlo, someone like this to kind of make the cap work for now, and then next season you could make that work. I believe Hanifin's contract right now is about 3.7 to 3.9. Correct me if I'm wrong. So if you send a guy like Brandon Carlo off, that's $3 million there. I think Trent Frederick's around the same there as well. So I think you send one of these younger defensemen off to kind of get the cap right, and then maybe ship off a prospect, maybe a couple picks in this deal as well. I really do think that this is worth it to bring in a guy like Hanifin. We could also see them potentially go for Tanev as well in this deal, kind of bolster their defense a little bit. If they trade for Hanifin and Tanev, I really do think that they would have to ship Frederick and Carlo off. So I really do think it's worth it when you're going for a Stanley Cup. I think both of these guys could really bolster your defense here. But we're just going to look if Hanifin is traded here. For the thing I did here, I sent Frederick off, and this would be the lines here. I'm expecting Hampus Lindholm, Charlie McAvoy to stay as that top line. I really do think that these guys really work well together. And on the second line, then you'd have a guy like Noah Hanifin. Sorry there, he is $4.95 million in his contract this season, and he'd be playing there with Brandon Carlo. Really do think he'd be great on the second line in deep pairings. He is playing in the second line deep pairings with Calgary right now, so it wouldn't really matter. He's going to get the same amount of ice time. I really do think that he would be a great fit here in Boston. Then you got Grzelcyk and Shattenkirk there as your third pairing. I really do think when you look at this, I really do think that this is a great defensive pairing. I think adding a guy like Hanifin's only going to boost their defense a lot. You get a kind of a veteran guy in the league here, a guy who's going to go out there, get you a few points, and definitely going to get you some shot blocks. So I really do think adding a guy like this is really going to help Boston out. Really hope to see this happen, honestly. I love when the hometown guy goes home, and I'm sure a lot of you Boston fans watching this would love to see him in a Bruins uniform because, Calgary's kind of falling apart right now. They got rid of Zadorov. I know he did request a trade, but I really do suspect if Calgary's game doesn't pick up, they're going to kind of sell at the trade deadline and you know, go into a rebuild here. And I really do think Hanifin and a sign and trade to Boston would be the perfect fit. You get him maybe 7.5 AAV over the next 8 years, and you have your defenseman of the future, paired with a guy like McAvoy, who has been playing phenomenal as well. So it'd be great to see Noah Hanifin come to Boston. But I want to hear from you guys. Let me know down in the comment section below. What do you think of this trade? If you're a Boston Bruins fan, do you want Hanifin on the Bruins? Let me know down below in the comment section. But we're going to get into everybody's favorite topic here, and that is comment of the day. And our comment of the day today goes to my boy Daniel. He says, Vancouver decor looks dangerously good now. Lucky them. And yeah, you're right, Daniel. Vancouver looks amazing right now with that Zadorov trade. Really excited to see what they can do for the rest of the season as well. Maybe we'll see a Vancouver-Boston Stanley Cup Finals. That could really happen this year. It'll be interesting to see that. I think that'd be a fun series to watch. But if you guys enjoyed this video, make sure to go down below, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. We're trying to hit 3,000 subscribers here before Christmas, so give us an early Christmas gift. Go down, hit that subscribe button. But if you enjoy the NHL, make sure to check out this video that's popping up on your screen right now. But I've been your host, KC. Keep your stick on the ice.